This is Ag47 Apparel, Adventure Log, Mission 8, Cheesewring Tor, Minions, Cornwall. An easy to moderate route, depending on how you cut your path, summiting a 1000-foot Tor with panoramic views out over the entire dutchy, ending in a granite-cut, crystal-clear Moorland lake. You can actually swim and cliff jump here in the summer. This route takes you from the village of Minions, through the hurlers stones, up and over the Cheesewring Tor, back down another face of the Tor, across a beautiful craggy moorland valley with wild ponies and some of the more typical moorland wildlife, and then finally up and over a 30-foot-ish stack of granite boulders to reach the Moorland lake. About an hour and a half-ish from start to end point, a long one but nothing mad. Well worth it for the views of the lake, which make banging spots for pictures. Starting locations for this route can be found on our maps on the Adventure Log page. The what-through words for this one is vibrates, mainly, and thousands. Weird one I know, but the pin will take you straight to the lake. From the start point, the first stop off is the Cheesewring Tor, about 30 minutes wander from the start. Pick one of the paths heading up the Cheesewring. We chose to take the path off to the right as you look up towards the Tor. It's a little steeper, but offers banging views out to Devon and across as far as Dartmoor. And to the north as far as Bude, and south out to Foy and the sea. You can actually spot a few of our other route start points dotted about the moor and coast here. Standing at over 1,000 foot, the views are some of the best we've seen on Bodmin Moor. From here we followed the cliff edge path. It's a short scramble over some rocks and along the path until the scale of the cliff below comes into view. During the 19th century the Tor was quarried, and that work created this dramatic 130-foot-ish cliff face. A small team of climbers were heading up the cliff when we were there. Looked mad, well worth looking up if you free climb. This narrow path leads through a patchwork of boulders and turns off to the right, facing uphill and into an easy scramble. There's a load of paths leading to the highest point of the Tor. Pick one or make your own route heading for the summit. Looking to the southwest from the highest point of the Tor, you'll see Gold Dig and Squarry, the Moorland Lake and the rest of the route. You could actually extend this route out to the west and onto Kilmar Tor, a stunning knife-edge Tor that makes a banging spot for sunset, but we're going to cover that in another route. We spent a bit of time up here, and then trekked down the southwest face of the Tor and into the valley below. It's a bit of a scramble down and over boulders at a fairly steep gradient, but nothing too mad. We picked our own path, stepping from stone to stone, but always making a beeline for the crossing point in the valley below. A little warning, from this point at the bottom of the valley, it's marsh on either side of the path, knee-deep, loose, sticky, peaty, boggy marshland. Stay on the path and keep an eye out for crossing points, stepping stones or high points. We ditched off the filming gear here and very carefully trod our way out through the marsh. Some of the moorland livestock up here are genuinely wild. We ended up in the path of a stampede. Farmers are rounding up some of the wild ponies. The mic doesn't capture the rumble of their hooves, but fair to say it was a pretty intense moment. The Moorland Valley here is much like the rest of the higher moorland valleys. A boggy, open expanse of grass, boulders, livestock and porcelain, with much of the same crazy weather that the moor is known for. Avoid heading up here in the winter or early spring without your wellies and a windproof coat. It's when the moor is most like a bog and the wind is relentless. Summer and autumn are the best times once everything has had the chance to dry off a little bit and the wind dies down. Be cautious of fog moving in. Everyone on the team has had times up here where they've needed to use GPS to get out of the moor. It's too easy to get turned around up here when you can't see further than 5 foot, so make sure you've got battery left and maps on your phone. Once you've crossed the low point of the valley, cut your own path, heading up to the piles of granite boulders. This bit's optional. You can scramble straight up the boulders, an easy scramble really, but probably about 30 foot climb in total. The rocks are steady and the footing is great. Or, if you're not feeling that, head around to the left side, heading back uphill, follow the path around the back of the same stone piles, and there you'll see the first series of cliffs that line the lake's edge. Here's our endpoint. This place is pretty popular this time of year, so we couldn't get much footage here, but it's gorgeous and well worth the trek out. Hope you take this route and enjoy exploring Kernow. Tag us in your snaps at Ag47 Apparel. Really like to see who we've inspired to get out into the wilds. Instagram is where we're most active. Go find the team, check for new routes, cop the merch and get involved. Peace.